Welcome to the fifth and final part of this series on the 5 theories that will actually change your life. Today, we're talking about the one theory that makes all the other theories easier to live by.
Life is beautiful.
Before we get into today's episode, though, quick trivia question for you, Nick. How many sides does a pentagon have?
5.
Five-star Friday! You know what time it is. You know what day it is. It's 5-star Friday. If you could take literally just 10 seconds, if you haven't already, to leave us a 5-star review on wherever you are listening to this podcast, it would mean the world, and it would really help us to show other people who come to the show that it doesn't suck and that it's really awesome, that they should listen to it too. So if you've been enjoying it and you could do us that huge favor, it'll literally just take 5 seconds. We really, really appreciate it.
Gracias.
Okay, into today's episode. So I want you to imagine it is a regular Tuesday morning.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up and you're running like a little late. Okay, you're rushing a little bit. You throw some bread in the toaster and then you go and you start pouring your coffee, and then you get distracted and you come back and the toaster pops up and it is now black. You have burnt your toast.
Yeah.
And in that moment you realize, shit, I am going to be late to work. So then you put in a new piece of toast because you need to eat breakfast before you get to work. And now you're running 5 minutes late and you're in the car and now boom, traffic. And you're driving in this traffic and you're all freaking pissed about this burnt toast. And then 5 minutes later, you see the sirens and you see the wreck that is right in front of you, which is a deadly car crash where there is an actual body bag on the floor.
Wow.
And in that moment, you realize that burnt toast was not something to be angry about. That burnt toast was the thing that saved your life. Because if you weren't 5 minutes late, that body bag could have very likely been you. This is the burnt toast theory.
So how would you summarize what the burnt toast theory is in layman's terms?
The burnt toast theory is that every setback, delay, and disappointment in your life is actually working for you, not against you. And what looks like a bad break is often a redirect in a better direction.
Yeah.
This, honestly, last week, we had some crazy redirects, some crazy burnt toast theories happen to us. So we have been super stressed about this keynote that we're delivering in June, and we're running super behind on it. And we needed to hire a coach, like a speaking coach. And we had one in mind, and then we finally went to go and like text him, like, we're ready to, work with you on this. We're in a rush. He texts us back. It says, oh, I'm sorry, but this is like too last minute for me. I can't do this. And so burnt toast number 1. Then the last thing we wanted to do is have an interview in the middle of this busy time where we're trying to prep for this keynote, because although we love interviewing guests, it just felt like now is not the right time for this. We need to put all of our energy to developing this keynote. So we were kind of like the interview itself felt like burnt toast in that moment. But then we get on this interview with Nir, who just got released. And what happens? What happens then? What happens during that interview?
In that interview, he basically gives us a live intervention about how to rewire our beliefs about this keynote so that we can make the best of what we have going on.
And then the best part is, what else does he give us?
He also says, I got a guy.
I got a great speaking coach. He's worked with James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. He's like the guy when it comes to speaking coaches. So these things that seemed like the obstacle became the advantage, right? We just had to accept it and work with it.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing happened with The Amazing Race, right? So the
that's
first
true,
time
too.
we got to know, and we thought that was devastating, but it really, what it was just burnt toast. And it ended up being the reason why we got on 7 years later.
Yeah.
But you want to hear one of the most insane burnt toast stories of all time?
I do.
It's by a guy that you find extremely funny, Seth MacFarlane, the creator, the creator of Family Guy.
Okay.
So he was scheduled to be on American Airlines Flight 11, which was hijacked, and it was the first plane that hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
Really?
The night before, he had been drinking and overslept. He arrived at the airport about 10 minutes too late to board. So think about that. At the time, it probably felt extremely frustrating, right? Like, fuck, I missed my flight by 10 minutes. Now I'm delayed. I'm sitting in this fucking airport. And then he gets the news 1 hour later, sitting in the airport,
That's wild.
that this plane just hit the World Trade Center.
Wow.
Talk about burnt toast theory.
You really never know. And I think that's the beauty of this theory. It's like, I think the most powerful belief that we can bring into every single day is that everything is always working out in your favor. I really do. And I know there's going to be a lot of naysayers who say, like, well, what about like evil, horrible things? Like, is that working out in my favor? Or like, think of the worst fucking thing. Is that working out in my favor? And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Nobody really knows. But like Near taught us on the podcast, why not believe that it is, right? Because the truth is we don't know. And so why not choose a belief that does serve us and makes us feel better about life and gets us to do better things?
Yeah, it reminds me of that famous Steve Jobs quote that we talk about all the time, which is you really can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. And that's happened to us time and time again. So I think that's where we're standing right now, which is anything that comes our way, we have a little mantra. If it sucks, if it's bad, if it's stressful, we say amor fati, which is the Latin phrase which means love your fate or love your life. Basically, like Mike said, act like as the thing that's happening to you was something that you chose and make the very best of it. And when you operate from that mindset, from that mentality, you literally become unfuckwittable.
Yeah, it's so true. All right. I think that wraps up the series in a beautiful way. I love that Seth MacFarlane story. It was good.
Yeah. Well, let's use it today.
More Fadi.
More Fadi. Thanks for hanging out with us. Love you.
Peace.